But for me,
but luckily we're sitting next to the guy who holds the purse strings. So
hey, talk to us.
But to your point about marketing and the size of the audience, we've got so many major boxing events in the course of the next few months that the audience is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's not like on November the 9th, that's going to be the peak Dazn audience of all time. We've got Anthony Joshua fighting Andrew Ruiz on the 7th of December. That's the biggest fight in boxing this year. It's huge. We've got Canelo Alvarez on November the 2nd. We've got your fight November the 9th and the undercard around it. It's like a season, right? So the audience is going to get bigger and bigger, and you're going to have an opportunity to fight, you know, with real boxing fans and the broader sort of audience that you bring later on in the year, early next year. We're open to that.
Who are these guys that he wants you to fight?
He's a YouTuber who fought on both of KSI's previous undercards. I think he's good too. The kid puts on a show.
Why he wants him to fight.
And then there's other people that fought on that same undercard that have multiple fights. They're like black belts in different like karate forms and stuff like that. And the guy who KSI wants me to fight, like their fight got around like 700,000 viewers on the re-upload. There's another guy named Faye Sensei who's got 1 million views on the re-upload of his fight. So I think that between those two, those are legitimate fighters who have trained before. They've fought on this undercard. People know who they are. I understand your point with like fighting like a limited pro, and I think that's definitely a possibility. But I think my fans, my younger fans, different fans than him. I'm from Disney. I have a younger fan base, and I think they would only get excited with they obviously want to see me fight, but for them to be fully invested, they would want to see me fight someone that they know of, a name person that they'd be like, oh, I know who that is. Even KSI talking about like him fighting his friend Gib, like Gib is big in the UK, but that audience is already going to come to watch KSI and Logan. I want to bring a new audience. No one in America knows who Gib is. And that's not me being a dick and like me being Jake Paul and like, oh, no one knows who is that? Like genuinely, no one knows who Gib is in America. And there's people like Faye Sensei, there's people like FuziTube who just knocked out a kid in sparring who want to fight me and who people in America respect, and that will bring a whole different audience. Faye Sensei, the group that he's a part of is probably one of the biggest social media groups in the world.
Massive. Phase is one of the biggest things. How seriously are you guys taking this fight in comparison to like a Canelo Kovalev fight? Is it the same level of seriousness? Well, the only reason I ask is because I'm looking at this Dazn flyer that you guys put out 21 hours ago, and he's not on it, but every other fight is on it for the season. Are you looking at it?
Well, hang on.
That hurt me.
We talked about this.
I sent a message about that.
He's constantly about that. I got a bit of a bollocking. I would say we're going to use the audience, the channels that you control, to like there'll be more marketing in your channels for this fight. It's a huge fight. It is a huge fight, and I care about subscribers.
But what about
this fight will do an equivalent number to any of the one of the biggest fights we've ever done in the history of.
What about like a consistency of messaging though? Like, don't you want to start to position these guys as professional as Ruiz and a Josh?
100%.
Yeah.
But again, if you're worried about subscribers, and then the second thing that comes after that is churn, which we talked about, and it's like the people coming off after this fight. It's like I said to Eddie, it's like use this fight to build me, and then use me again to keep that churn rate going. There's so many influencers that want to fight. I think this is, I think we are on the brink of like something huge where influencers are training and wanting to do this, and it becomes a legitimate thing.
We agree. We want you to fight.
The success of this event will show us that. I think what's going to be interesting as well is last time it was a pay-per-view model on YouTube, which is a pay structure, or more importantly, a channel that they're very familiar with. So this time it's about making sure we all collectively push the Dazn product as well, which is a great product for fight fans, but also to educate them about where to find it, where it is, how to digest it, and how to subscribe. So, you know, and that's why it's what you guys do. Yep. I mean, we've got the Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel, which I want to put a shout out because we've only got 80,000 fucking subscribers. So we need your help. You know, you're geniuses in that kind of thing, you know, and we're all learning. This is an amazing world. You know, and I know you guys are really deep into it, but for us to come in and see that today, like, you know, I've been involved in some big fights.
I was going to say, what did you think of that, the press conference?
Yeah, I mean, the chat was interesting, backwards and forwards, but that was like, it's directed towards your audience, right? That's what they want to hear, they want to see. I've not had, it's kind of like like when you go, I said to someone in there, you could be at a Canelo press conference you might not see the crowd, and Mexicans are extremely passionate people, respond with the same passion as they did today. You know?
Yeah.
And with all due respect, you two guys are social media guys or YouTubers or whatever you want to call yourself. It's crazy. But it's the world we live in today where the younger generation, I've got 2 daughters, 9 and 7, they're heroes and they're icons. They're not, you know,
Who they're rooting for.
they're not like they're this Olympian.
Who do they want to win?
They don't know you or KSI.
Do they watch
They're too
Bizarre
young.
Vark?
No, they're too young.
Do they watch Bizarre Vark?
No, they're who's the girl, the young girl?
JoJo Siwa?
Yeah, JoJo Siwa.
One of my
yeah,
great
yeah,
friends.
Yeah.
I'll have her there.
Yeah, good.
You want
Okay,
your
yeah.
kids? You
Oh,
want,
mate, that would be
Listen, drop England.
Mate, yeah. Anyway, if you could get a video message from JoJo SeaWorld, I think we've got a great chance of getting your fight up.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
I know you have to go soon. You're traveling, man. A lot of press conferences, a lot of boxing business. What round do you think I'm gonna knock KSI out in?
You know, like with the head-to-head today, I know I was the closest person to the whole thing. So I heard everything you were saying. A few personal bits going backwards and forwards as well, but looking in the eye of the opponent, like any professional fighter will say that they don't care what's said at the press conference. Yeah. Like, and nowadays there isn't really a load of shit talk. It's mainly, I've had a great camp. You know, it's actually quite.
It's
boring.
JoJo.
Hey.
Hi, JoJo.
Oh,
JoJo,
hold on.
Yeah,
JoJo, how do you feel? How do you feel about a matchroom boxing bow?
You're gonna
Would
be
you
on the
do that
undercard.
if Jake's on the undercard? A matchroom boxing bow?
Probably sell like 20 million of them.
KSI.
JoJo, this is really random, right? Do you mind saying to me, hello, Isabella and Sophia?
Only if Jake's on the undercard.
Oh!
Hold on. Can you do that for me? Thank you so much. Oh, mate, that's unbelievable.
Love you,
Bro, you just
So-
gave him the
Oh, mate,
golden
that's
goose. You
unbelievable.
should have held out for the contract, Jake.
No.
Now he's got no need
this-
for you
we're friends.
anymore.
The gesture of goodwill goes a long way. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
So
Talk
what?
to me. Look in the eye.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's for me is. I think you learn a lot about it. I mean, you've shared a ring before. You've felt his power. He's felt your power. Generally, when you share a ring with someone, I think you know deep inside the true result of the next fight, like and where you're at mentally. It's a bit like Joshua and Maurice. You know, like he got put down 4 times. Does he really believe that he can overcome him in the rematch? You know, this time around, I think that it's how the fight unfolds. I think you both, with your inexperience, have the ability to completely lose your mind in the madness of the event, which means that as soon as the first shot comes out and everybody starts just swinging for the rafters, anyone's capable of getting knocked out. And that's what I keep saying about these 10-ounce gloves. Like, it's so exciting because I don't want to see if you get knocked out, but it's very likely, you know, because you're going to throw punches, you're going to take risks. And that's why I want people to see the beauty of boxing, because it's so raw, this sport, and it's so dangerous and it's so thrilling that once you two start unloading shots on each other, you won't stop. And someone will get caught, someone will get hurt, someone will get backed up against the ropes, someone will go in. And like I said, I believe someone will end up face down here and KO'd. And quite honestly, that's what I want, because that's called epic viewing.
Who do you want to be face down?
I quite like you, actually. Like, it's the first time I've ever met you today. I did a podcast. I've got my own podcast.
Oh, here we go.
Plug
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you can do.
well.
Yeah. It's #1 in the UK. Just want to put it out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not number one in the world.
First, yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. First guest was KSI. Yeah. So
You
yeah,
started in a- started in a
yeah.
shitty way.
Last guest was Logan. No, but I quite like it. I respect you guys for what you've done, because you're trailblazers. You know, and
So are you.
no, but listen,
I like
we
this
all
fight.
work very hard. Like, I work as hard as I can, 24 hours a day, or as long as I'm awake. So, and this is a pleasure to be involved with. We've had a bit of stick, a bit of criticism, which we expected, but we're all in. We're all working together to make this as big as possible. So, may the best man win.
Do you have any tricks up your sleeve for the promotion of this fight? Anything that you haven't pulled out
These
yet?
guys, like, generally I would, you know, but you don't need it with these guys. Like today, I was like, what we say in England, a spare prick at a wedding. You know, I was just sort of, let's talk boxing. Guy, yeah, your mum, where's your mum at? I'm like, fuck. So I just think with their platform, and their audience, you know, we just got to be smart. We've got to be creative. We've got to try and keep the credibility. That's why we talk about Devin Haney and like people like Devin Haney. I believe he's an ex-Floyd Mayweather. He's like, can you get me on that card? You know?
I saw that.
Yeah, I know. I saw you tweeted last night, and he's like, yeah.
Jake's the next.
Oh,
Shannon
wow.
Briggs said
Oh,
Jake's
yeah.
the next Floyd Mayweather.
Whoa. Joe.
Shit.
The Matrix.
Yeah. I tweeted Devin Haney. He won.
He wants.
He knocked the dude out.
Yeah, he wants to. He's on the card, but he was like, "Can I get on that?" So
Amazing.
you know, it's
That's
going to
an
be
honor.
epic.
That's
yeah.
so cool, man.
Is there a scenario where it benefits Jake to financially or in some other way to wait and not be on this card?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But that's up to these guys. I think, you know,
100%.
we want Jake involved, whether he's fighting on the card, whether he's fighting a month later, whether he's working on the promotion of this event. Of course, he's a big influencer, and you know he's part of the whole story. I mean, he blew Smokey, and I hope there was nothing in that cigar because JJ's got to do a drug test coming up with a commission. Do you know what I mean? So,
Oh,
I think it was straight to back.
Standard cigar.
oh, good. Okay, we'll be
Standard
okay.
cigar.
Blew smoke in
I
his
know.
face. Hey,
It didn't go down well. I was like, oh,
He
no,
was
what's he doing
pissed.
there?
He was so mad.
I just want to end it by saying I've sold over like $30 million in merchandise, and KSI has only sold probably like $1 million. It's like I pull numbers.
What
and
do you
let's talk? T-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, posters. #1 selling poster in Walmart.
Seem to be Dazn subscriptions as well. We hope.
Where?
Hey, like and subscribe, bro.
Let's do it.
The zone sign up.
Let's go, champ. Let's go.
We've got a meeting after this recording. We've got a meeting, right?
yeah,
Are you coming to that
let's
meeting?
go, yeah.
Let's go and talk.
Where are you going next?
I'm going to London. We got a show in Florence on Thursday. So
Hey, Josh was your fighter, right?
yeah, my
Is
boy.
he working with KSI?
No, they did a shoot the other day on some. They work with a
okay.
similar brand.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I think we'll probably align. You know, bear in mind that fight's on Dazn 4 weeks after your fight.
Yeah.
So we'll probably align you guys. KSI with AJ,
You were
you with
Reese's
Andy. I mean,
birthday
look, he's
party,
your
right?
boy anyway.
He's
This
our
Dan-
boy.
yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, but it's not. It's not like it's not a fake promotion. Like you know Andy, he knows AJ.
The problem is, AJ and I kicked it in Dubai.
Yeah, I know he did. He told me that. Yeah. He's a good guy, huh?
Man.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is he
It's okay.
playing? Is he
respect?
playing as high as everyone says he is, Ruiz? No. Yeah.
He had his 30th birthday party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
You
like-
went to that, right? You were there.
Sober. He was,
Yeah, he's focused.
and then we went.
Head
We,
down.
we had the press conference. I think the week after that. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, he just won the heavyweight world championship. He's just made double-digit millions in 2 fights. Let him
Yeah.
enjoy himself.
yeah, facts.
Hey,
And make sure he comes in out of shape for the AJ fight.
Another
That's
thing
all.
I need you guys to do is carve out a section for influencers at the Staples Center.
100%.
There are a lot of influencers that are excited about this fight, and you know it's not only about the ones in the ring, but it's about the ones talking about it on their on their Instagram stories
100%.
for the fight. So we got to talk about that.
You want all your friends to be there.
Celebrities too.
Celebrities,
100%.
influencers that all want to be at this fight because they know Jake.
That's the
or
difference in
Logan.
promotion for this fight.
Yeah, we are being educated by you.
Absolutely.
That's a big one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you use the power of the network too. Like
Absolutely.
he just FaceTime Jojo Siwa. She's selling out 15,000 person arenas. Like,
Amazing, mate. You just made me a hero at home. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You should write that into the comments.
thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Appreciate it. Let's get Shannon Briggs in here.
Let's
Let's go,
champ.
champ.